Welcome back, Hodlers. We have a crazy day in the news. We're going to be taking a look at all the integration news, different pieces of news between altcoins, Bitcoin, and what have you. And then we're going to be taking a market update look on Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is, and where altcoins are. So let's go ahead and get into it. The very first article is Coinbase is integrating Polygon's Ethereum Layer 2 scaling solution in an attempt to lower high prices and reduce settlement times. Obviously, I don't know how much that they're going to be able to do by lowering high prices, because obviously we're dealing with Coinbase. But I understand them kind of inching out and taking advantage of Polygon, considering how amazing Polygon is. Now, there is a lot of hype around Polygon. Layer 2 is not going to go away, especially with Ethereum 2.0. It's just going to increase how viable Layer 2 is. So there's no real concern regarding like ETH 2.0 and Layer 2 investments. Vitalik Buterin has kind of alleviated that concern and said it himself that most likely it would just increase the benefits of Layer 2 protocols. So in Coinbase's official statement, they have said that they've established a protocol team to devote skilled members and engineers that would integrate cutting-edge technologies with Coinbase products. So obviously they're looking at bringing blockchain solutions, which makes complete sense considering they're a crypto retailer. But they're bringing in blockchain solutions to solve some of their current issues that they're having today. So going on to the Polygon system, obviously, if you're aware of Matic and the Polygon system, then you know it's going to lower the fees and increase the speeds of protocol. I've been able to use Polygon for a lot of DeFi products, mainly DeFin, Aave is another big one. These products are made easy and doable and achievable by normal people just investing a couple $100 and not investing thousands and thousands of dollars that can eat a $200 gas fee. Now, obviously, I'm being a little bit hyperbolic in that price, but not by much, which is a little sickening to a lot of people. So again, they mentioned that Polygon is the fastest growing Ethereum scaling solution with high speeds and low gas infrastructure. Even me now, I'm mining my Ethereum on my PC. I'm now getting that in Polygon, on the Polygon system, still in wrapped ETH, but on the Polygon system. And the last part just goes about the mechanics of Polygon, but as you know, Polygon is one of the quickest Layer 2 solutions. In other news, El Salvador government to punish businesses that don't accept Bitcoin. Now, realistically, this is obvious with hindsight. You know, this makes complete sense considering that it's legal tender. I would absolutely understand that most businesses must accept it as a form of currency. So I don't see this as news per se, but this is like a step. This is a step of adoption for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I more or less saw something like this as inevitable because often legal tender, I mean, you have to. Now, some people are also saying because El Salvador accepts it as legal tender, that the rest of the world has to trade with El Salvador in legal tender, which I don't think is the actual case. The reason why I don't think that is because everyone right now trades in United States dollar. The United States, for example, wouldn't necessarily trade Canada with Canadian dollars. Oh, maybe they would. Just because they individually as a country make it legal tender does not mean the rest of the world have to accept it as payment. Now, that being said, some of the world can accept it as payment on their prerogative. There are plenty of deals that happen in native currencies between countries that could always happen, but it wouldn't be met as the standard, not until Bitcoin is fully adopted by a number of different countries that it must be accepted by basically everyone. So I don't think we're going to be there, maybe one day in the future, but just because El Salvador does it doesn't mean the rest of the world has to do it. But this is definitely bullish for one, El Salvador, and two, for the rest of the world hopping onto Bitcoin, hopping onto the blockchain. So it's very obvious that this is where we're going into the Bitcoin laws, the blockchain laws that are coming through. So obviously having legal tender kind of makes sense. I get it, and I get the hype around, you know, being able to say, hey, businesses, you have to accept Bitcoin. That's pretty bullish in my opinion, but obviously there are the people that are extrapolating something completely out of it that maybe shouldn't be extrapolated. In Cardano news, 64% of the pools are now upgraded to the 1.29 Alonzo node update, so they're ready for that Cardano hard fork that will bring smart contracts with it. You do see that Cardano did produce a update tweet, the announcement tweet. Awesome effort as ever for the Cardano stake pool operator community over the weekend to get ready for Alonzo hashtag. Currently, according to our stats over at Pool Tool, which I haven't actually looked at that'd be interesting. Some 64% of pools are now upgraded to 1.29.0 Alonzo node. And interestingly enough, let's take a quick look at Pool Tool. I've never seen this before. I think I have seen this before. I think I have. But looks like a tool with all the stake pool data. I think this is how I kind of found some stake pools. But for me, and for anyone wondering which pool I'm in the ITC stake pool for Benjamin Cohen. He makes great content, and I'm happy to stake with him. So into the cryptoverse, if you guys want to stake in the same pool, that's the one that I'm using. In XRP news, and I just heard the audible shudder by my viewers, and that's okay. You know what? I will say that over 30% of my portfolio is XRP. I know that might shock a lot of people. You know, why? Why would you buy XRP? The reason is I believe in the fundamentals. I got in very early to XRP, and XRP is almost increased to the same rate as Bitcoin. Of course, I didn't make as much on Bitcoin. I would have made a lot more if I sat outside of XRP, sat into something else, and then later got into it. But that's not the point. That's not what I do on the channel. I buy and hold long term. I don't really trade short term that much. And if I do, it's with a very, very small percentage of my portfolio. That way, if I get wrecked or screw up in any way, I'm only out a little bit of money. But XRP is getting ready for another leg up to move up. Now, I've said this before, and I will say this again. XRP below its all-time high of, I think it was $3.40, somewhere around there, is going to be cheap. And obviously, it's going to be in hindsight because a lot of people reject it as a scam coin, especially with the SEC case. If you follow the SEC case, however, and I'd highly recommend you follow Jeremy Hogan, Legal Briefs on YouTube. He makes great videos updating exactly what's happening in the SEC case. I've been following it very, very stringently throughout the last couple of months. I was there when the collapse in December. I diamond hands it all, and I'm still holding on to my portfolio. And obviously, you can say that I screwed up or what, because I could have sold at the very top and kind of bought back in at the very bottom. But again, for anyone to prepare something and understand the anticipation. We had an announcement from Brad Garlinghouse the week before, or the day before the announcement, and then the day after, basically Christmas or Christmas Eve, the SEC announced the lawsuit. So that was a big deal. We've been fighting through that. We are now trading up to, as of this article says, $1.38. I woke up today, everything was down, but my portfolio was up against the Bitcoin value, and that's obviously because of XRP. Now, to take a look at XRP right now, we've seen a good amount of candles. Let's take off the week and go a little bit more short term, maybe more so 4 hours. We've looked pretty bullish for these 4 hours. We're not quite back to our all-time high or our previous high before the drop. We're not anywhere near our all-time high, however. That was roughly $3.40, I believe, on a couple of different exchanges. There's $3.40. Obviously on Bitstamp we have $3.36. But still, I think after we hit this level, after we top out the $1.94, maybe go over $2, I think that $3.40 is in order for something like XRP. Hate it, love it, whatever. I hold it, and I know a good amount of you do hold it as well, so there it is. So we see this same sentiment brought to you by a couple of different people, basically saying the exact same thing, that XRP is coming out and going to do very well. Now, I do actually think that that will be the reality. That being said, obviously there's more risk with more volatility. So if you're following something like modern investment theory and you're looking at the Sharpe ratio, then obviously more volatility is going to come with more risk. But with XRP in 2017, it did show one of the highest ROIs. So it could potentially be one of the big movers of this market. But I understand people's hesitance to get in. And all I can say is do your own research and don't just listen to maxis on Twitter. Just definitely deep dive into what the technology is, and that should give you a guiding perspective on whether or not you should or should not invest into something. And obviously, don't take my word for it. I'm just an idiot making videos on YouTube. So Solana hits an all-time high, raises about 14% in 24 hours. Obviously, a lot of people have been talking about Solana lately. It's done very well after its first pump. Before the crash, it did very well, held up pretty well, and now is holding up and pumping pretty high, back up to its all-time high, I believe, which has been crazy. Now, I do want to preface something. Now, there's a lot of people that love Solana, and there's no reason why you shouldn't love Solana. But a lot of people love Solana and hate on other tokens. That's fine, but I personally would rather hold all three. That's what I never understood about people where they say, you know, this is the Cardano killer, this is the Ethereum killer, this is the Bitcoin killer. They're not going to die. So just invest in all three of them. Who knows which will win? Maybe you're wrong. Maybe you're right. I say hedge your bet, buy a little Solana against your Cardano and your Polkadot, which I buy Cardano and Polkadot to hedge against my Ethereum. So even though I'm bearish on Ethereum long-term in terms of Polkadot and Cardano, I still hold Ethereum, and Ethereum is still in the top 5 of my portfolio. I would pick up a little bit of Solana if you don't have any, and obviously invest accordingly to your portfolio. But you know, it is at an incredible rise. I don't know enough about the project to say if it's going to go down in the near term or not. I do think overall the project is good. They have a lot of good partnerships coming in with Solana. So at this point, it could be very beneficial, especially when we're going into the NFT markets and everything else. They're talking about FTX's new market with NFTs. Overall, Solana could be a very incredible thing. Taking a look at the charts right now, Bitcoin is currently sitting at $51,984, getting close to that 52,000. Some of you might remember that 52,000 as a number that I've stated on this channel that we need to go above. So we did kind of hit that, kind of tippy. So we did hit the 52,000, but we didn't hold above it. So we'll see. The battle is still ongoing, right? This hasn't stopped anything. The battle is still waging for this $62,000 Bitcoin. Can we jump up above it with some sort of conviction? And at that point, we could probably say bull market's back on, boys. Just like the orcs in the Lord of the Rings killing one of their own and eating them. This is exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. But obviously, Bitcoin is doing very well on the 4-hour. If we take a look at the daily, we've had a very, very nice green candle last day and today. Obviously, a lot of this is due to the El Salvador sentiment, stuff that's happening through the community. A lot of people are buying Bitcoin right now. More and more Bitcoin is going into wallets off exchanges. And actually, interestingly enough, we have a bit of miners selling their Bitcoin, and their mining reserves are actually low. Now, I just had to bring this up to kind of show you guys. So this is Glassnode. They do a weekly on-the-chain recap of exactly what's going on. Obviously, they're saying that the 36-week high, 51,833, which obviously we beat today. And a couple of things that they did notice. Now, one big thing is the mean hash rate. So this is when China banned crypto mining. Everyone moved out. Now they're resetting in other countries, finally getting that mining going. But this ended up being one of the most profitable points of mining. I just spoke with Alex Mashinsky over on the channel, link down below. But he did say that exactly that you know, he just made great timing with getting into crypto mining because China was outside of the mining. But the part that I find very interesting is miner balances right now, where miner balances have gone down from the 721K Bitcoin to 718K Bitcoin, dropping significantly down. So a lot of Bitcoin has dropped. If we look at the net position here, the net position is getting close to be in the red for miners. So their net position could go down, but Bitcoin is still continuing to go up, which means that there's a lot of buying pressure out there. There is some selling from miners, but there's a lot of buying pressure for Bitcoin to buy that up. And as we look at it, we're about to see Bitcoin hit $52,000. Once again, let's see if we hold above this. Obviously, altcoins are kind of getting a little squeezed out right now. Trading level, nothing's really happening. Ethereum's basically just trading level. We have XRP is one of the big movers of 6.5% today. BNB token is down 1.14. Polkadot is basically just trading level, and Cardano is basically losing about 2.2%. Nothing to be concerned about. Often when Bitcoin's pumping, the rest of the altcoins just throw money into Bitcoin. And I'm sorry this video is taking so long. I would like to mention the ADA BTC chart. Now, we did talk about this chart before, and I would speculate that a lot of people, once we hit these levels, started cashing out their Cardano into Bitcoin. Still not a bad time to do it, but I wouldn't be doing it myself. Again, I long-term hold. I have a lot of Bitcoin. I have a lot of Cardano. I don't want to mess with anything in my portfolio. My portfolio is good. If the portfolios change ranks, it's because one token's going up, not because I sold one token into the other. Now, of course, I will end up taking profits into Pax Gold and USDT, but I'll be coming out with an updated profits video in the near future. That's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and my crazy hair. If you did, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe to the channel for more crypto news and content, and of course, happy hodling.